everybody, and welcome to today's lesson. Today's lesson, we're gonna be making a tote bag as promised, but I want us to use a different stitch today. So I'm throwing in a bonus stitch, which is called a mesh stitch. So I'm going to create a swatch. I'm going to use a swatch to teach you how to create the stitch, and yeah, let's get into it. So like I said in the previous lesson from the double crochet lesson, a lot of crochet pieces and a lot of crochet stitches are based off the knowledge of double crochet. So a mesh stitch is a mixture of double crochet slips knot or a chain, so so this mesh stitch, I think some people call it fishnet, but yeah, I knew it, I learned it as the mesh stitch. The best hook to use for this is the 4.5 to 4 mm stitch. So I'm using a 4.5 mm, sorry, not stitch, hook. This is my 4.5 mm hook. Okay, so for this, for the swatch, for the case of an example, show you how to make the mesh stitch. I'm going to start with a chain of 20. The mesh stitch is actually very fun. I'll just put that in. So we have 20. Now for the mesh stitch, when you want to turn, you make a chain of 4. I'll explain to you why it's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. But now you don't enter this one. You don't enter the 5th one. You enter the 6th one. You move your hand down. And enter for a double crochet. Yeah. Make a double crochet in the 6th one. Yeah. So so you know you skipped one. Yeah. So that extra one you did is for that one you skipped. So the double crochet is 3, and then the 4th one is the extra chain is the one you skipped. So now to move on, you chain 1 or a slip stitch, or rather a slip knot. You skip 1, enter the next one. Excuse me. So you chain, the one you chained is for this one you skipped. Excuse me. So you chain another one, skip 1, enter the next one. So you chain 1, skip 1, enter the next one. We are making double crochets. That's what you just keep doing till you get to the end. Chain 1, skip 1, enter with double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, enter with double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, enter double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, enter with double crochet. So one thing you should note is that once you're working with mesh stitch, your foundation chain should be an even number. So that's just what I'll just note. Your bottom chain should be an even number. Because you don't want an odd number, then you have one that is left here. So that is the most important thing to note about the mesh stitch. So remember, so when you're doing the mesh stitch, yeah, you chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that extra one accumulates. Correct for this one. Account for this one that you skipped. This one chain, do you understand? So now from here is just a simple thing. Just chain 1 and enter where you see a double crochet post. When you get to this end, yeah, so let's look at it like this. So this is 1, so we are skipping this one, entering this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and do 5 more rows, or 4 more rows rather. Yeah, 4 more rows, and then I'll come back. So this is when I'm done. This one's like when I'm done. Yeah, and then from the swatch, rather the stitch gauge. Remember, drop off the 1. So you can see 2 rows equals 1 inch. Yeah, 2 rows equals 1 inch. And 1, 2, 3. So about 3 double crochets is 1 inch. So yeah, so that's what you keep. That's the swatch for this one. So I'm going ahead. I started making another swatch with a 4.5 mm hook. So just show you there's a difference. And then so you yourself can use another hook and see which one you prefer. If you want your bag with more holes, assuming you bigger, wider spaces rather, assuming you decide to do your tote bag with the mesh stitch. You can do your tote bag with the double crochet stitch, the single crochet stitch, or half double crochet stitch. It's all up to you. But for the purpose of learning and personally, because I prefer it's summer season, I think it's better to use mesh stitch. So it's a 5.5 mm hook. I also realized I made a mistake earlier. So for the mesh stitch, the hooks I'd recommend are a 4.5 mm hook upwards. So I usually use 4.5 or 5 mm or 5.5. I can't find my 5 mm hook, so I went in straight for the 5.5 mm hook. Another reason, another thing to note when it comes to hooks is the bigger the hook, the more yarn it will consume. Okay, so I'm back and I finished. So you can see it's the same mesh stitch but bigger hooks, different hooks. I did this one with the 4.5 mm hook and this one with the 5.5 mm hook. You can see that this is wider, the holes are wider. So let's do the swatch. So we have 2 rows slightly passing 2 rows equals 1.3 inches, yeah, and then basically only 2 actual double crochets make 1 inch. So it's 1 chain, 1 double crochet, 1 chain, 1 double crochet. So that's just that. So if you want your bag to have bigger holes, if you want to take less time, yeah, go for the 5.5 mm hook. But I like this because I feel like the things I'm going to put in the bag, and I always carry a pen around, so I don't want my pen falling out of it. Do you understand? So I'm going to go in for the with the 4.5 mm hook for the tote bag. So I've already gone ahead to do one part of the tote bag. So this is what the tote bag looks like. This is one side of the tote bag. So for the purpose of time, I had done one with the 4.5 mm hook. Okay, so this one side of the tote bag. Yeah, I used single crochet for the bottom and mesh stitch for the body. Single crochet, 2 rows of single crochet on both sides. I did 2 rows because I'm gonna sew the 2 sides together, and I didn't want it to like this. Do you understand? Okay, so why did I use single crochet for the bottom? Yeah, if you're using, I wouldn't recommend that you use a mesh stitch for the bottom because things will fall through your bag. Yeah, so just for things not get lost from your bag easily, because imagine you put your lip gloss in and then just slides through that's not what you want. Do you understand? So you have to think of all these things when you're making a crochet project. You understand? What is the purpose for it? What are the cautions you have to take? Yeah, so for me, number 1 caution I'm taking is I don't want things falling out of my bag, thus the smallest boxes or spaces in my stitch, and single crochet here. Some people say half double crochet, but when half double crochet stretches, you will see holes. But with single crochet, even if it stretches, before this hook itself will come out, it's a problem. So yeah. You notice I put a stitch marker here. It's to remind me which side is which. So which face is, this is the back outside part, this is the inside. Okay, you can see this is the inside part of the single crochet that I bordered here. So let's jump right into it. My bag measures after I put the bordering and everything, it's about 10.5 inches wide, and I wanted it total of 12 inches high or long. Yeah, so let's get right into it. Remember, I got all this by doing my stitch gauge first. Yeah, you can also yeah, so sorry, I got all the stitch gauge by doing a swatch first. I did a swatch first, and then I measured it. Where's the swatch I did? So I had done a swatch. And then that's how I was able to know what I wanted. So I'll do 8 rows of this, then come back at the end when I'm at the 8th row, because you're already know how to do a single crochet. I don't think you need me guiding you through this. So see you in a bit. Okay, so this is end of the 8th row. Yeah, so once again I had marked my front with the yellow stitch marker, so I'm turning. So I did 8 rows, then I did an extra row, yeah, because when I sew it together, this one row is going to go under. Do you understand? So that's why I did an extra row even in this one, but I wanted to explain why. So I did 8 rows, so 25, 8 rows plus 1 row. Yeah, so I hope you can see this. So I ended here. Yeah, that's the last. So I remember so with the mesh stitch I now changed to, so for the mesh bottom, for the mesh, my knit is not the finest, but you know my work is fine. So I used a 4.5 mm hook, and my stitch gauge was 2 rows equals 1 inch. 4 rows equals 1 inch. Okay, because I'm majorly on, I use, yeah, so 2 rows equals 1 inch. Let's say this is the bag. Yeah, we want the total height to be 12 inches. but we already have 2 inches here, meaning there's an excess of 10 inches to be covered by the mesh. And yeah, we have 2 rows equals 1 inch. So for 10, to know how many rows we're gonna do to get 10 inches, x equals 20 rows. So now change to my 4.5 mm hook at this point. So you can start to do all these calculations before you start, or you can just go in and be working as you do it. For beginners, I'll advise you work as you do it and be patient, because you may have to lose your work. Do you understand? But only then are you able to make all these calculations. I already done calculations on another page, and I read on another book, and I know even how the handle is going to be. Do you understand? But you can only know this from your swatch. Do you understand? So yeah, so this is, I've chained 4. 1 2 3 4. Turn my work, skip 1, enter the next one. So the first row, because the bottom row is single crochet, it will be hard. The first row of mesh will be hard because poking holes into the single crochet is not easy. Chain 1, skip 1, chain 1, skip 1, chain 1, skip 1. Sometimes you have to stop and look back to see if you're getting it accurately. In case you skipped 2 by any chance, so you go and fix it before you get to the end, and then you now start losing it or frogging it. So in crochet, losing of work, I think I said this before, it's called frogging. I think I'll put it somewhere around here. So this is what you just keep doing till you get to the end of the 20 rows. Yeah, so I'll see you at the end of the 20th row. Let me show you how I bordered it. Yeah, then we'll join the work and do the handle. So